guys, Jonah here, back with another beer review, and maybe you'll be pleased to know I haven't been down to the Wetherspoons, and this beer review is not from a Beer 52. It's from Tesco's actually. Well, the brewery is Vocation, and I saw the special edition. There's this one, and there was another one which I picked up, which I'll do later on sometimes. But this is a Tonka beer, double Tonka Frappe, which is a stout, obviously from Vocation, which is one of my favourite breweries at the moment. Down here, 8% beer, and this is on special offer in Tesco's at the moment. It's a mix and match. They're doing this weird thing at the moment where you mix and match. They're doing it with freezer deals as well, but they're doing it with the beers. Buy 4 beers and the cheapest one is free, and that's a good deal when these things are costing, I think it's $3.50 for a can, which I don't usually do that. I don't usually pay unless it's a really good beer, and I don't know about this one. So I bought this. I bought another Vocation, no, another 2 Vocations, because I bought a Love and Hate as well. And I can't remember what the other beer was, but I got a discount, so I got a free beer essentially. Or you could think about it as getting some usually expensive beers for a little bit cheaper, which is the way I was looking at it. So we've got double Tonka Frappe, combining the best parts of a freshly brewed latte with the complexity and depth of a well-crafted stout. The addition of Tonka beans gives unique, delicious flavour, unlike anything you've ever tasted. Well, dear viewer, I have had a Tonka beer before, and they are really nice, actually. Right, hopefully, I should have. Ding, ding, there we go. So, sticky coffee vanilla. Tonka beans add a complex sweetness, depth of flavour. There's coffee, vanilla, caramel, and chocky. Your beer is our Vocation. May contain some sediment. Well, might contain some Tonka, and I even kind of like that, which is really cool. I like that. And as we know, well, if you have been subscribed to the channel for very long, and if not, why not click like and subscribe down below? It really does help the channel, helps me out a lot, as does adding comments to the video. So feel free to argue with me or agree with me in the comments down below. Really does make a difference. So yes, what was I going to say? Naughty and Nice is a special edition by Vocation. They usually do it around Christmas time, and they make some really nice beers. And I think last year they ranged from 6.5% or something like that, all the way up to 10%. So maybe they're using that recipe with Tonka bean added. Don't know. And don't forget the Imperial Banana, ridiculously good beer at 10%. And I think that was only £3 as well. So an 8% beer for $3.50. And then times by 4 and then divide by 3, whatever it is. It's probably under £3, 2 and a bit, 2 3/4, for a full 40 milliliter. So almost an American pint's worth. Not quite a UK pint, talking Imperial and all that kind of stuff. But of 8% beer, it's not bad, is it? The only thing is, the can is a bit taut, and what happened the other day, it jizzed all over my trousers, so I'm going to be very careful in opening this bad boy. Releasing the pressure, but no head and stuff sticking out the top, so that's good. And it's a stout, and it's strong, which, believe it or not, usually really superbly strong beers don't have the exploding carbonation problem. So that's another reason not to drink session beers. Drink stronger beers instead. And I've gone up to Well, number one, because this is a pint glass craft style, but it's also a stout glass, or traditionally a stout glass. So let's see what we get on this bad boy. Going slightly aggressive with the pour, just to see if we can get a lovely bit of head, which we've managed to do perfectly. Not quite up to the top, but that's because it's not a pint. Right, that's a good sort of almost a finger's head, which is, that's weird. Look, there it's under, but that side, that's, what the hell? That's really weird. I've never seen that before. A head being really taller on one side than the other. So there we go, Tonka Frappe. Let's get that in. Let's get my head in there and let's do a silly face. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Now, that head is fast disappearing, but look at the colour. Really, really dark. Oh, look, it's all going. It's all going. Wow. That is also, like I said, because of the carbonation, with stronger beers, and by stronger, I'm meaning sort of over 6% here. Yeah, the head does not stay around for very long. I don't know why that is. Something to do with the viscosity or the density of a higher alcohol kind of thing. Oh, there's some absolutely right. So there's the Tonka kind of thing, which is hard to describe because it's not like anything else. It's like a bean, obviously, or you could say a little bit like a soya milk. So it's got that kind of milky kind of thing, creaminess as well. But really, really cool. But also definitely getting the coffee. So a Tonka latte is a really good description because that's exactly what I'm smelling. It smells like a fresh coffee as well, which is nice. And there is a bit of sweetness um, kind of going on. It's weird saying sweetness when I haven't actually tried it just through the nose. But your nose is clever. Um, you can dial in your nose to detect sweet and bitter. Um, and this one, definitely on the sweet side, as far as my nose is concerned, anyway. Cheers and beers, guys. Let's dive in. Wow, look at that. The head has totally disappeared apart from round the edge, like a ring. Oh, Mr. Frodo, don't touch my ring. Uh, cheers and beers, guys. Ooh, wow. Wow, that's really kind of weird. So I was getting quite a lot of coffeeness on the nose, but I'm not getting that on the mouth. What I am getting is that kind of, there's that syrup which isn't coffee, but it's what they did when they couldn't get coffee, chicory. So it's like a syrup that then you mix with water and it kind of meant to taste a bit like coffee, but definitely is not coffee. It's kind of that. So I'd imagine the flavour is all coming from the bean. Um, so maybe they've roasted the Tonka beans. I don't know. Definitely the Tonka taste. I laugh when I say Tonka because in the UK and maybe around the world, but definitely in other countries too, Tonka was a brand of small, especially for boys, of small cars and trucks and things. Um, Die cast in metal and that kind of thing, and they were called Tonka trucks. Don't know if you remember those. I always remember at Christmas you'd open up your presents, and sometimes you get these really, really small, little, you drive it around the carpet and the outside or wherever you were, but it's a really small little truck or jeep or something like that, and they were called Tonka. But this is the actual proper Tonka. Oh, I love drinking strong beers on camera. Look, the head has almost completely disappeared. Oh, this is unctuous. Yes, I love drinking stronger beers on camera because it's like descending into into a sort of weird place because you're drinking them quite fast compared to, I could make this last at least half an hour, maybe an hour if I was down the pub. But you probably wouldn't find something like this down the pub. Um, but doing it on camera just gives a bit of extra edge, and you can feel the alcohol definitely coming out on your breath. I used to say when you used to go to the pub, have I don't know 3, 4, 5 pints with your mates, however many it was, in the winter time, which we are getting to. Oh my God. In the next few days, the temperature in the UK is going to drop by 10 degrees. We're only at 20, so it's going to drop by a half. So in the next few days, it's going to be bloody freezing. Well, it's not going to be freezing, but it's going to feel like it is. Um, but yeah, what was I going to say? Yes, in the wintertime, have lots of beers with your friends down the pub. And you'd step out onto the pavement or into the street or whatever, and it would be cold outside, and you'd see your breath, causing vapor, causing steam. Well, you see it with the young people causing vapor. Back in the day, we used to smoke cigarettes, and yeah, unfortunately, if you're like me, that meant you got cancer later on in your life. So um, don't smoke, kids. Um, Vaping, I'm not too bothered. Smoking, vaping, whatever. But alas, that is not me anymore. Um, well, I might have some tobacco somewhere lying around. I don't know. Who knows? Oh, it's a lovely taste. It is getting, as I'm getting to the bottom of the glass, I am getting a bit more of the sweetness, tiny bit overly sweet. Um, so it's like a coffee. You maybe put too many sugars in, that kind of thing. You still like it because it's coffee. Um, but yeah, I guess it goes back to that kind of chicory syrup stuff that people use when they don't want to have coffee. Um, it does kind of taste like that mapley, chicory kind of thing going on. And I know it's from the Tonka beans, but it's hard. I'm trying to describe what Tonka beans taste like. The best way to do that, pardon me, dear viewer, especially if you're in the UK, is go down to Tesco's and pick one of these bad boys up. Vocation for the nation. Man, it's crazy. My best bud Jim, who's sadly missed, this is the second year, coming up to the second anniversary of him dying, leaving this mortal coil. And it's at times when I'm drinking beers, Vocation was his most favourite brewery. Um, and I have a lot of Vocation stuff around, and every time I look, it reminds me of him. And this is one of the main reasons why I bought this beer in the supermarket, because there was a deal on, obviously, and I saw this sitting on the shelf, and I turned it that way and looked at that 8%, and the other beers are not far behind. And I looked and I thought, Jim, you're tempting me, mate. You're tempting me because there was a deal on, obviously. Um, So cheers, big man, wherever you may be. Hopefully you're looking down and laughing something stupid as to me talking nonsense, drinking an 8% beer. And yeah, we used to do that going to the pub. And sorely, I should have done it more often with you, mate. And yeah, I didn't. Ah, it's a shame. Jesus Christ, it's a shame. Ah, anyway, cheers and beers, guys. I don't want to be this morose guy, but this is a fantastic beer, and I miss my friend. That's what I'm saying. Oh, and there it is. Very, very good beer. Tiny bit too sweet, maybe too much of the Tonka bean, perhaps. Um, the alcohol is very well hidden for an 8% beer. That is quite hidden, but it is there, and I'll probably feel that later on, especially on my breath. If I go outside, yeah, I'll definitely feel that. Anyway, that has been the Vocation, a double Tonka Frappe special edition from Vocation. Vocation, my God, very, very good brewery. If you're in the UK, and you can buy them in a lot of places. If you're in the UK, Brewdog, I think, has, let's say, had its day, but they were supposed to be, ooh, cool, we're the new age and blah blah blah, and they're just fucking idiots, really, in my mind. They do make some nice beers, don't get me wrong. Tiny Rebel is another one. Um, the Welsh brother of, I would say, of Brewdog, similar. They do similar things, but they make some really, really good beers. And then I would say Vocation is up there. Siren is another one. Vocation and Siren for me, kind of, I'd put Vocation slightly above. But we live in a time where we are spoilt for choice for beers. Absolutely fantastic. Anyway, welcome to the weekend, dear viewer. Hopefully, you've enjoyed what I've said. If you're not subscribed, please do so. As I said earlier on, if you've got any questions to ask me, please ask me. There's a lot of things going on. Um, Obviously, the Weatherspoons Beer Festival is happening. If you want to find out exactly what I'm drinking, Untapped is probably the best way. It's in the description down below. Have a look and connect with me on Untapped. Um, yeah, I think I've had about 40 beers maybe so far this month. So it's a lot of beers, and there will be a lot more because there's a beer festival going on and a lot more videos too. So you guys take care, enjoy your weekend, and remember, drink some lovely, lovely beer. Drink strong beer because it's autumn, it's winter time, it's almost where the clocks change, almost there. Anyway, I'm talking nonsense because I've drunk a really strong beer reasonably quickly. Take care of yourself, take care of each other, and we'll be back with more beer reviews real soon.